I was in grad school then, that was there at the same time that I was. This boy is fantastic. So grounded. And my God, he's a multi-millionaire. But you wouldn't know. When I ran into him when I was in school, you wouldn't. Even when we were in college there, they already started giving him money. Yes. And he was so grounded and so balanced. And his parents, I attribute that, sorry, not his parents, I attribute it to his mom. His mom was the one that was very strong and was on top of him and made sure that everything was balanced.
Back home here.
Yes. So everything was very, very balanced. So I refuse to say that it's genetic. And even when he now got into the NFL proper, and was, why did I say? Yeah, NFL proper, and was doing all that stuff, he still was able to handle his money, and he was still married to the same young girl that he was with when we were in that college. Yes, he married her, and he was
he didn't go looking for the superstar.
Yes, and go all over the place. He didn't mess around. He was still grounded. So it depends on how we bring them up, plus the mindset that they also have.
Nature and
environment. Yes, it also depends on that too. We can do it. We should stop making excuses.
Okay, now, I like that. I like what you have said so far. It seems to be saying to me that we shouldn't get so discouraged, that we shouldn't lose all of it. We won't let you go. You're not going to go anywhere, because I'm sure many of our parents and some of our viewers who are children or who are youngsters, they are watching and they want to come and engage with you to ask you questions. Look, I need to get out of this trap. So what do I do? So stay with us, and then we'll come back. We'll throw the conversation open to all of you so you can join us.
When we came up with the team, say Operation Zero Tolerance, we were saying zero tolerance to deaths on our roads. We were saying having zero crashes, yes, on our roads.
We'd love to see you in Dashiki, or Dandogo, or Agbada.
The youth still have a very big chance of making a very big difference. That's why I started a lot of projects.
We have not been able to distinguish traditional medicine from traditional religion.
Every edition is an arresting conversation with distinguished Nigerians from various strata of the society, bearing their minds on how we can realize the Nigeria of our dreams. Join us live on Close Flow, Monday and Friday, every week here on NT2 Lagos Network Center. Close Flow. The conversation is about you.
Thank you for staying with us. You see Close Flow, and that's all I see here. Well, just before we went on that break, she kept saying to me there is still hope. You can do it. Well, I hope we are buying into that, because this recession left many of us doubting if there is still hope on the table. But thank you all for sending your questions and comments. I'm going to take them on very quickly. But before I do that, there is something that has been bothering me. So is it STEM or STEAM? Is it,
okay.
Wait, no.
Okay, go ahead.
So is it STEM, or are we stemming the rot in our educational system, or do we need to steam up and join the rest of the world? Where exactly is our strength?
Our strength is taking the core abilities that we already have and seeing the best practices that are out there in the world and adapting them to ourselves here. That's what we can do. Is it STEM or STEAMing? I'm not going to fall into that one. I'm not. Because I really know that art is very essential for society, but science is key for innovation. So I'm just going to leave it there.
And then right now the whole world is saying innovate, educate to innovate, innovate to educate. I mean, all the way from America to China to India. Yes, everybody's doing that. Educate to innovate. So,
yes.
And we need to innovate in this environment.
We do need to innovate. Innovation is key. I was saying it, and I'm going to keep saying it. Innovation, innovation, innovation. Change, 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 change. Not the other change that we're all talking about. Transformation, okay? Moving things around. That's it. It's very key. And real quick, he said about hope. Yes. I refuse to give up hope. Because I look at a country like Singapore. Singapore had nothing. We even have natural resources. We have an educated, well, to some degree, an educated populace. And we have so much more than they did. But
There's
yet,
a question mark on your educated population. We'll come back to
I will come back to that, yes. But yet, look at how they were able to turn themselves around and see where they are now. They are world-class leaders. I'm talking everybody in the world turns and looks at what they're doing in mathematics. Everybody in the world is looking at what they've done in general in education.
Yes, yes.
So please, if they can do it, we can.
Well, we'll come back to that Singaporean story because it is a story that's going to go anywhere because a lot of us here are not sure that we are Singaporeans. Now, quickly, Blessing from Surulere. What age is right for a child to start education or start schooling? Yes, good. Blessing, that's a good one.
That's a good one, Blessing. Blessing, I'm sure you're a working mother. That's why you're asking that. Okay. All right, Blessing. Let me give this one out to you. I believe it's flexible. The answer is flexible. But I would say anywhere from 3, actually, no, we can even go less. Anywhere from 2, 3 should be okay.
Datola.
I know we do it younger. We do it younger. That's why I say I'm being flexible. But you see, what we call education at that younger age, we really should encourage more play at that age. Let them play. Then when they start becoming from 4 to 5,
yes,
that's when we now start really bringing in the concepts and start ramping things up a bit for them. So for me, I wouldn't really be so fixated on the age. Because even if you take them at 1 year old to that school or whatever, the creche, they really should be playing more than learning at that age. Because there's so much that they need to learn at that age. They need to learn about working with others. It's very, very important. There's nothing like social skills being taught to a child. If a child doesn't have social skills in time, believe me, that child is going to have issues adapting later. So they need to learn how to play with other people. They need to learn how to interact with other adults because they're going to be adults in that place. And then play. When they're playing, you see a lot of things happen while they're playing because they learn.
Wait. There's something you have raised here. Are you saying that this prevalence of violence among some youngsters could have been because they lacked social skills when they were growing up?
Yes, unfortunately, yes. Social skills is very key. It is. I'm not.
Yeah, because our youngsters are no longer interacting. I mean, small discussion. The next thing is a slap or a knife or a gun.
Emotional intelligence. Remember I mentioned that. Emotional intelligence. One of the key things that need to be taught. And you start teaching it from that young age. And how do you learn is when you're playing. You learn that you need to share. That's a social skill that's very necessary. That, you can't be selfish. You need to share. You need to learn to empathize with others. It's very key. You learn that at that age when you're playing with other people. Somebody falls down, they injure themselves. Sorry. You learn all those things. So it's very key. So instead of forcing them A, B, C, let them interact, let them play, let them start,
grow as children.
Yes, that's very, very important, more than anything else.
Okay, Blessing, I hope you got that. So let's go on. Mike from Ikeja. The standard of education in Nigeria is so poor that some graduates cannot write an application. In your perspective, how can we improve the standard in this country? Well, you said a little bit about that.
Oh, I can. I have a lot to say about that. Dude, you just rang my bell right now. There are two key things in improving that standard. And the major one is, I just said previously, you cannot give what you don't have. So I really believe in teacher training reforms in this country. Very, very big. Very, very big. And not just going for the training.
Yes, and getting another certificate
again.
Yes,
I'm talking all the way from the top, coming down. Major, major reform in teacher training. Major. Constantly, making sure that teachers are on par. They are teaching with the right strategies. They are teaching in subjects. And then even in the subject, their content is strong in what they're teaching. So all these things, if you're able to have the right teacher training reforms, believe me, we got it done. Then the other angle is the students. We just talked about that, working on their mindsets. Yes, that's very, very key. So to me, those are the two key things. I mean, environment is important too. That one is something that we'll talk about too, eventually. But once we deal with those two things, we begin to hit on the other areas too.
All right, okay. Mike, I hope that is helping you to understand what we need to do. Chima from Aja, you are an advocate for educational reform. What are the basic skills a child should have in pre-nursery, nursery, and primary?
Let's pull it up again, because it's there, the basic skills. The basic skills that a child should have: oral expression, being able to express themselves, being able to say what they're thinking, communicate it clearly, being able to read and understand what they're reading is key. And then when they're learning, as they're learning, they can repeat back to you that, okay, I taught you A plus B is this. I don't know why I'm saying A plus B. Mathematician. We like variables and algebra. Yeah, so when I say that, you can also tell me back what I've taught you and kind of explain your own words. That's key too. And ICT. I'm sorry, we should stop waiting until they're way too old. These little children, give them your phones. You'll be surprised the amount of things they can manipulate.
All the games, they get to know where the games are.
There's
they dig up
Yes, there's nothing they can't do. So we start at that young age to start doing things with them with the computer. Mathematical reasoning is very key. Creativity, even at that young age, we shouldn't stifle it. We need to encourage it. Our children are very, very creative.
Very expressive.
So we should let it just flow. Let it just go out. You know, it's very, very key. Let's see. What is the key other one? Yes, emotional intelligence, monitoring yourself and being able to also watch others. It's very, very key from that young age, going all the way to primary school. Logical thinking, too, you can teach it at that age.
Really?
Yes, you can. Oh, yes.
And that is not happening here now. We used to have it when we were growing up, but somehow along the line,
we need to bring it back by training, retraining our teachers and working with our students. It will come back. So those are the key things.
Okay, all right, Chima, I hope that helps your case. Talk back from Orile. You have talked about a myriad of problems in our educational system. What is the way forward as an educationist?
Yes, I just mentioned our way forward, and I said I refuse to give up hope. In fact, I will never give up hope. When you give up hope, that means you've said it's done. And when I look at our children, that's why I know that there is hope. Because they want better. They need better. They are crying for better. So I know that there is hope. What is the way forward? The way forward is, I said all of us need to be on board. We need to stop saying government, government, government. I'm not saying that, in fact, government is key. For you to be able to make policy reforms, the government is key. But how do you begin to drive reform? Is by everyone coming on board and saying, you know what, we're tired of the status quo. We want a change. I am trying to avoid that word. Transformation,
well,
guys.
Okay, a real change.
We want transformation, guys. So that's when it happens. So everybody being on board. You getting tired as a parent saying, you know what, getting involved with your children's teachers, getting involved in the school, asking your child what did they do in school, reviewing stuff with them. Educators saying, you know what, we're tired of this, we want better for our students, this is what we want to do. Everybody has to be on board, everyone. And that's what we're going to see.
Okay, now, before I come back to my own questions, today from Okoko, you are so passionate about education. How do you intend to mentor the next generation?
Oh, Lord, thank you. How do I intend to mentor? I've written a lot of books concerning, because he mentioned STEM. That's why I said, don't even go to STEM. I'm a very big proponent. I call myself...
Please tell them what STEM
I am about
STEM.
I'm going to explain.
I need to let them know what STEM also is.
I am going to explain. I'm a very big STEM advocate. STEM is science, technology, engineering, mathematics, education. It's very, very key for innovation. And that's what I was saying before. I'm very, very big on that. And STEAM that he was mentioning is when you do all that and you throw arts in there. I believe arts is key too. Like I said, arts is needed for humanity. Music, that's what makes us happy and express ourselves.
Passion.
Yes. However, guys, for us to innovate, look at all this. It came from STEM. It came from people being able to solve problems, research, which is what we scientists do. Engineers use methodology.
That is very contentious. Steve Jobs got interested in computing after learning calligraphy.
Aha! But let us not forget, what did he go to school for?
Yes, we know. Yes. Okay, but
and who are the people he interacted with? Who are the people he interacted with?
The scientists.
Come on, guys. Okay, you can't give what you don't have. So I'm not saying that we're the only ones who are important. No, 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 no. Everybody is important. Life is dynamic. We all need each other. However, the skills and the abilities that we're going to take from science and engineering, mathematics, they will apply and transfer to other things. So it's very, very key. I think
okay, no, we are not done. We are not done. The next question would be the fact that right now Nigeria has a population of about 170 million. Half of that are youths. About 80% of these youths are either unemployed, unemployable, or uneducated. About 80% of, that is, if Nigeria is 170 million and half, which is almost 80 million, yes, and now about 70 million of that. So what are we dealing with here?
We're dealing with a crisis. That's what it is. I have to call it what it is. And I just remember the other part of what he said, that I'm very passionate about it. How are we going to reach our youth? That's what we're trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do. One of the key things, yes, one of the key to experience, plus advocate that, guys, this is what we need to do, and reach out to other educators for us to collaborate, and for our government to also want to work with us so that we can do this. Our schools to also say, you know what, we see people like you who are advocates, who want to talk to our children, who want to reach them. Come, let's design programs, let's work on things that are going to help our children to be able to see. The key thing that people are missing when I talk about STEM, they think I'm just talking about you finish this, you go ahead and go to university. Not everybody has to go to university. Like you just said about Steve Jobs.
Yes.
But what you will learn and how you apply it and now solve problems, that's what you're going to do.
In your immediate environment.
Yes, in your immediate environment. That's what is key. That's what's key. It's not that paper. That's what